Hi everyone, my name is Jing Fang. I'm an immigration attorney practicing in New York for almost 13 years. We have done tons of H-1B petitions, and here I'm going to share how to prepare a successful H-1B with you. So we all know the fiscal year 2021's H-1B lottery was done, and we have 275,000 H-1B application for the lottery, and we know we only have 85,000 quota each year. So for this year, we only have 30% of H-1B candidate get a quota. Congratulations to those who already won the quota. However, this is only the first step. How to successfully get H-1B approval is a big question, especially after Trump took the office. We all know the immigration climate is really tough, and the RV rate for H-1B in the past year is 67%, which means 67% of the H-1B receive a request of additional evidence from USCIS. And among those RVs, we have a large number of H-1Bs being denied. So it's not easy to get H-1B quota. However, it's even more difficult to get H-1B approval. So here we're going to share 4 cases with you, and those cases range from small sponsors to large sponsors, administrative positions to technical positions, and they tell you how to prepare your H-1B, how to overcome different kind of challenges, and which may relate it to your case. So hope our expertise could help you to successfully get your H-1B approval. So before we start our case, we would like to share some basic requirements for H-1B, because only when you meet those requirements, you are able to get H-1B approval. First of all, H-1B position has to be specialty occupation. Specialty occupation is limited to those positions that request at least a bachelor degree to perform the job duty, which means clerk position or chef position or any other secretary position, they are not generally considered a specialty occupation. However, lawyer, engineer, accountant, those kind of positions are generally considered specialty occupation because they request at least minimal bachelor degree as the entry level to perform the job duty. Other requirements include employee's credentials. H-1B employee has to have at least a bachelor degree in specific field to perform the job duty, to take the job. And also we have prevailing wage requirement. Prevailing wage is the minimum wage your employer has to pay you if they're going to sponsor your H-1B. So they have to match the prevailing wage. And another requirement is business necessity, which means your sponsor has to have a good financial status, good operation, and a business necessity to hire you. So those requirements have to be met in order for you to successfully get your H-1B. And H-1B's key point, how are you going to go through the H-1B? So H-1B, the first step is to file LCA report. So that's the labor condition report you have to file with Department of Labor. Only after LCA is certified, you are going to be able to file your H-1B petition. So for H-1B, you have 90 days from April 1st to file your H-1B if you are selected for this year's H-1B. So remember, the deadline should be the end of June. If you miss the deadline, you will miss the window and you will miss the opportunity to file H-1B. So these H-1B cases, I have to say, have all the reason of denial, because this H-1B case is the weakest case I have ever done in my career. So first of all, it's a startup company. It's a financial advisory company, startup, brand new. This is one challenging point for H-1B. Second of all, very small size. The sponsor only has one owner, so that's the only employee and owner for the company. And is going to sponsor an H-1B part-time financial advisor position. So this is another challenge. Part-time, only one employee, and another challenge is the working location is at the owner's house basement. So this is another challenge. And the owner did the first initial H-1B filing himself. So that provide more challenge for attorneys because if you have made any mistake in the first filing and in the RFE stage, attorney cannot change any substantial elements of the first filing. They have to go with the first filing and then see what else she can work through it. So when the owner got a first RFE, they returned me to help him to do the RFE response. During the preparation, we did a very thorough business plan to tell the officer how promising this startup company is, because the owner is a professor, a college professor in finance. He has successfully sold 2 of his startup company, and this is his 3rd baby. So we demonstrate how much expertise he has, and he is a very experienced financial advisor, and his business will be very promising. So we provide a very thorough business plan, and we provide the layout of the basement, the picture of the basement, the working environment set up for the basement. We also provide them a Bill Gates story, because he started his company in his basement. So in addition to that, we also provide the neighborhood picture and whether there are other home business in the same neighborhood. So this is the first RFE response. The officer is satisfied with the working location part, and they gave us another RFE, the second RFE. So the second RFE challenging about the specialty occupation, because this H-1B will be the only one employee for the company. How you're going to relieve her from doing other administrative position or non-H-1B qualified job. So we break down her job duty, tell the officer 100% of her time will be focused on financial advisor, and also we provide the officer her working product, the working sample, the research paper she has done, the software she is using. So from that working sample, the officer has a good understanding on you have to have a specialty knowledge, special knowledge in order to perform this job duty, and the bachelor degree is the minimal requirement for the entry-level position. And then we got approval. So from this case, we understand even the company is a small company, startup company, even the company is in the basement of the owner's house, you are still able to get an H-1B approval if you can prepare the good operation of the company and a good business plan of the company, and also a very thorough analysis about what kind of special knowledge and skill this employee will need to perform the job. And the second case, this case is a refiling of the first denial. The first denial was handled by somebody else, and then they approached me to do a refiling because the first one was denied. And we use the same position. That's the job he is hired to do. But how could you succeed with the same position sponsored by the same institute but with the previous denial? And in this case, what we improved in the first filing is very detailed breakdown job duty, and also another challenge is the employee's background is remotely related to the position. This position is a senior housing manager position. It requires a social study degree. However, the employee only has a master in public administration. How are you going to prove that this employee has all the knowledge required to perform this job duty? So we got RFE, of course, and RFE will also focus on the specialty occupation and the level 1 wage challenge. So we have a long argument on level 1 wage challenge, because wage level is not the element you determine whether a special knowledge is required by the job. Is the job duty determines whether we need special knowledge and skill to perform the job. And regarding the employee's background, we provide a very thorough analysis, break down the course this employee took in his public administration class, and break down each course, tell the officer what kind of knowledge and special skill each course will provide to this employee, and then link those knowledge and a special skill to different job duty of this H-1B position. So we did 3 links: course, provide knowledge, and knowledge linked to the job duty. With this analyst, officer understands, okay, although this employee does not have a social study degree, but his degree in public administration will provide him enough knowledge to perform this job duty. So we got approval of this case as well. This case, my take on this case is, if you don't have a 100% match background, don't worry. If you have a very detailed analysis, you will have a good chance to succeed in H-1Bs. Our number 3 case, this case is sponsored by a Chinese school. They teach Chinese, and they are hiring a part-time Chinese teacher. The school is in New York City. They rent a shared office to operate their school. And the challenge of this case is the officer doesn't understand the situation in New York City. He challenged how you operate a school in the shared office, and how does the teacher and the students can fit in such a small office. And we explained to him how WeWork is so popular in New York City, and because the rent is too high and a small business could not afford a special office, and a shared office works very well for small business in New York City. And we also explained how the students and teacher can take turn and use a limited space. And we have been operating this school for 2 years, and everything works out. However, unfortunately, the officer still struggled to understand the shared office concept. This case was denied. So my take on this case is, if this is an administrative job, and if the company is small, and if the working location is not so stable, this will create challenge for H-1Bs. So when you are looking for H-1B job, if you get multiple job offer, always pick up the one who has longer operation history, a bigger size, that will provide a stronger support for H-1B. Our final case is also sponsored by a small company. The company only has 5 employees, and it is a startup company. However, this case was proved in 4 days. Why? Because the job itself is a very technical job. It's a mechanical engineer job. This startup company has a lot of patents. The owner is a college professor. He's doing the surgical material research. They are inventing new materials, so they need to hire a part-time H-1B mechanical engineering major. And another challenge for this position is this beneficiary will work remotely. She will work from her house in another state. So this usually will trigger a lot of challenge for H-1Bs, but we did a very good job in break down the protocol of the employee remotely with her manager, how she communicates, how often she will have a meeting with her supervisors, and how she will fly to the office to meet them every month. And also we provide a working example from this employee, what kind of report she is writing, what kind of paper she is publishing, and her research for the project to prove this is a very technical position. So we have no challenge at all. The case is approved in 4 days. So my take on this case is, if that's a small company, startup company, but if the position itself is very technical, the chance of getting approval is very high. And also remote working is also possible. We have done quite a lot remote working, especially nowadays. Technologies give us convenience. We don't need to go to office every day. We can work from home. We can work from anywhere. So remote working is also very acceptable by USCIS. So the successful cases tells us, if you do a good job, if you do your homework, provide that your company has good operation, has a good business necessity for H-1Bs, your H-1B will be approved. So hope our expertise can help you in the preparation of H-1Bs. If you have any question, you can contact me. My contact information is here. Thank you very much. Good luck.